Movie Time is brought to you by the Gateway Film Center, 1550 North High Street, Columbus, Ohio. Further details and showtimes online at gatewayfilmcenter.com.
It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to shows and read reviews at WCBE.org.
Look, I'm John DeSando.
I'm Hope Madden.
And this is, oh yes, it's movie time. All right, Hope, enough of this winter. Let's take a trip.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, to sunny India. Where everybody is beautiful, where there's no traffic, everything is so clean. This is in Jaipur, a kind of romantic other world, and it's the second best exotic Marigold hotel. Is it worth the trip?
There's not a lot to watch in the movies right now. I mean, it's a sweet film. You know, it is. It's confectionery. It's awfully light, but it's pretty.
I remember last week or so, I did the Kevin Costner film, and I had almost the same reaction. I said, "Look, what do you want at this time of year?
That's right.
This is a nice little film. Costner's good. Take the whole family. We can't expect a whole lot."
No, and the other thing is that life is miserable enough right now. You know, it's like, if there's ever a time to go see a movie that's just pretty and nice and has a great cast. I mean, you know, it's funny because as much as I have some qualms with the film as a film, you know, if I get to see Judi Dench and Bill Nighy and Maggie Smith in the same movie, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that, you know, I can forgive some plot weaknesses.
And Dench and he are in love, even though she's 80 and he's 65. in real life. But anyway, these are romantic couples. Well, not a couple. Maggie Smith doesn't have any.
No. She's a little salty.
Yes, and she's they're all from the other film. And that's the challenge of this, is the best exotic Marigold Hotel, #1 in 2011, kind of caught everybody's fancy.
It did.
Because here you had all these old folks kind of rumbling around, being in love, and things happening at the hotel with Dev Patel playing Sonny. That annoys me a little bit.
Dev Patel?
Yeah.
I gotta tell you the truth. I'm not a big fan of his. And you know what's funny? The two big movies that come out this weekend, he stars in both. He's like the Schwarzenegger of this weekend. I mean, he's in both of the big movies that come out this weekend. And my son, Chappie.
Oh, okay.
And my son is a big fan, and I just think he overacts in everything.
Well, he does,
particularly in this.
It's an interesting, for me, it's John Madden, the
director.
The director, not a relationship.
No.
No. But it's to me, it's his fault. This young actor, who was originally in Slumdog, right?
He was, yeah.
Yeah. Who's a fine-looking and a good dancer, at least as I can see from that last segment. But way over the top in his shtick, which works in the sense that he's kind of this loony assistant administrator or something of the hotel, and he's trying to find another hotel to buy, and I think you said it. He's way over the top. So it's where Madden, I think, could just say, "Hey, hold back a little bit."
Right.
You don't need to be that broad.
And I also think, given the cast around him, he looks particularly amateurish because they are such pros.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. Of course, these guys, you want to be very careful how you act around these people, because they can toss anything off and make it $1 million.
Well, it reminds me of a lot of the Harry Potter films. I thought the fact that the adult cast in Harry Potter was among the best actors working sometimes was a detriment to the film, because the young actors weren't nearly good enough to match those performances, and so that it made their weaknesses stand out. And to me, that's kind of what happens here.
One of the new characters to join, to find a spot in this exotic hotel, is one of my favorite pretty boys, Richard Gere.
The eye candy, so to speak.
He is, right. What was one of them say when he walks in the door, "Be still my heart," or something? They're all looking. And you know, life is not fair to be that good looking in your 60s. When he was good looking when he was young. But you know, there are things about him that I like. I do like his whole Tibetan monk thing. I know it's hokey, but he obviously is having a good time.
Yes.
As he is in this one. And that's some of the tension, because he's playing an inspector, and somebody else is coming in, Tamir, let's see what her name is. Tamsin Greig.
Okay.
Comes in as a potential, as somebody else who needs a room, and they're anticipating an inspector comes to approve their loan that they're trying to get from another weird combination. David Strathern coming to see Maggie Smith.
I know.
Where does this come
I
from?
know.
I mean,
It was actually, I thought, a very weird final scene. I thought, I mean, he's flown all the way in from the U.S. just to eyeball Maggie Smith. I mean, the whole thing was, I thought, is this sexual tension? I don't even know what this is.
I couldn't believe
I
it.
know. I mean, I love David Drake there, and I was glad he came
Yeah.
back around, but I thought, I don't know why he's here.
I mean, is this some kind of, is it Madden's, some statement about older women, younger men?
I don't know.
I don't know, because
I don't know.
it's one of the strange parts of this film.
It is.
But,
It is.
so you're telling me that actually there are things to be enjoyed here?
You know, I think it's funny because I'm not a huge fan of the original, but I thought it was lovely. You know, it was a lovely. And I think the sequel suffers from what a lot of sequels suffer from. It's contrived, and the premise is no longer unique. And then also, for me, the most wonderful aspect of the first film was Tom Wilkinson, not just as an actor, and he's magnificent in all things.
Boy.
But his storyline, there was an elegant, somber, bittersweet storyline with him, and the sequel lacks anything like that. You know, it's all lunacy, it's all, you know, frivolity, and it's too Love Boat.
Yeah, and of course we're with the elderly population of this hotel, and I think they're all very old. It's like a home, right?
Right.
And with that, you're possibly going to get some deaths.
Right.
So let's say we get another death. They're just knocking off the population. And it's one of the funny bits, I thought, recurring bit is when Patel walks around in the morning with a roll call.
Roll call. Just to make sure nobody, you know, gets left. Nobody gets left in the room for too long, just in case. It is kind of funny.
And a part of the romance, and I opened up with this typically me snide remark about the location and how clean it was and how traffic-free it was. And it really is. But after all, this is a romantic comedy.
Right, yeah.
I mean, we're not looking... I suspect it's going to help tourism in India.
I imagine. I mean, it really looks like a dream destination for the elderly, doesn't it? You go over there, you got like 3 or 4 potential dates in every scene, and
I know you do. I know.
You know, it's beautiful. Apparently, the weather is perfect. You know.
I know, everything is perfect. Well, so we could say it's not a bad film to see, enjoyable at this time of year. You know, we're doing the best we can here. With so little,
right?
And yet we can offer this up. No. Hope Madden. The film is the second best exotic Marigold hotel. And can you find a grade that will be applicable here?
I think I'm going to give it a C+.
Good. All right, and I'll go with a B-, and I don't know why. Well, perhaps because Richard Gere is there, and it lifts my spirits to see that old boy in there. But anyway, enjoy yourselves. Have a good weekend. We're going to try to find a film for our audience that we really respect.